Hey you guys, and welcome back. I'm Alicia and I'm a creator of Learning Well Community, and last video I was talking to you about how I put together a unit study, and today's video is kind of going to be midway through our unit study, showing you some of the projects that we do together or that we did together in our Colonial Life unit. But with a sophomore and a sixth and a fourth and a preschooler, it's really hard to get everybody's school in plus do all these fun projects that you want to do. So what I have done is when we're doing a big unit study like the Colonial Life unit study was, I will designate a few days in the within the parameters of our unit study. So just blocked off like 3 different days that we could do some of our projects that we wanted to do. So on those 3 designated days, those were days we didn't have other activities where we were running around, where I wasn't going to be running out and getting groceries or anything like that. It was days that I planned a really super simple dinner so that we didn't have to stop so I could start chopping and all that stuff. It was just very simple. We didn't have anything else going on, and we could just devote our time to our projects that we had to do. So in this video, I'm going to show you our lap books and then some of the other projects that we did for this study, and just kind of walk you through and explain what they are, and also why I think Homeschool in the Woods studies are so much fun is because those projects are included there for you. You don't really need any other resources if you don't want. Now, I did have some other things on my shelf that I wanted to use, some other project resources, but you definitely don't have to. There are plenty of projects included in these unit studies that you really don't need anything else. But I'm going to walk you through our projects, and I hope you enjoy.
All right, so the first thing that I'm going to show you are these floating lanterns. This was taken from a book called Colonial Kids, not from the Homeschool in the Woods unit study, just to make that clear. These were really fun little projects that we did. So the first thing we had to do was crack the walnuts in half very carefully, and then we melted these beeswax chips and poured that into the walnuts, and then we just simply stuck in a short piece of cotton wick. And that was all there was to it. And they actually ended up really cute and lovely little lanterns that we put into water, and you could kind of hear the water hitting the flame and kind of hissing and popping. So the next project that I'm going to show you is these pine needle sachets. So in the colonial times, they would use these just like we would today to make their drawers smell good or their trunks smell good. And I have some paint pens that we used, and also just some very inexpensive muslin, and then the template that was from the Homeschool in the Woods unit study. So the first thing that we did is we cut each of my kids cut 2 squares, a large one and a smaller one, and actually those were doubled up, so a bigger one and then a smaller one. And then we did sort of a transfer, and we used a pencil to kind of transfer the design over onto the bigger square of muslin, and then we just painted that in, and then we sewed it all up. And then before we actually sewed it up completely, we stuffed it with pine needles from outside, which was really handy. And then there you have it. There's our finished project. Alrighty, so for this project, things got a little noisy in my house, but it was still really, really fun. So all I did was take some empty soup cans and fill them with water and freeze them. And then the Homeschool in the Woods unit study provides these awesome templates for punching your nails into the frozen cans of water. So you just take your hammer and nails and some rubber bands and choose your template. I even had my 4-year-old do this up to my 16-year-old. So it was like just a fun family project that we all did together. And the kids just took the rubber bands, wrapped them around the template just to hold them in place. And then just really carefully, so they didn't get their fingers, they went all the way around the template and just punched holes with their hammer and nails. And it was very noisy for a little while, but it turned out really great. So then what they did was after they were all done punching, they just went over to the sink and just got all of the water just thawed out, and there you have it. We have some little tea lights in there lighting them up, and these were the cans at night, and I loved that. We still have them on our table. The last project I'm going to show you in this video is rock candy. And this was really fun and interesting. It was a science project, actually. So we took strings and tied paper clips to the end of them and a popsicle stick to the other end, and we stuck them in a mason jar, and then we basically just made candy. It was kind of difficult to get it to the right temperature. My kids each made their own, and so they all turned out a little bit differently. And then I helped the kids pour their hot liquid after it got to the right stage into their jar. And after several days, we cracked open the candy to see how it turned out. And not all of the candy turned out the same. Some of it was quite hard and solid, but we learned a lot. And candy is very difficult to make sometimes. You have to make sure you get it to the exact temperature. But for the candy that did turn out, it was really fun and really interesting, and we all kind of broke off some pieces and shared it. So it was a really, really fun project, and we enjoyed this. And this was all found in the Homeschool in the Woods Colonial Study, and all the recipes and the details are all in there with a ton of other projects as well. Thanks so much for watching. If you need any more details, check out the links below, and I hope we'll see you again.